Welcome to anybody joining in. It is I, Princess Etch. I am doing a little scooching on my end to try to get... There we go. That's better. I gotta recalibrate my space just a little bit on the desk by picking up my Gigundo. There we go. And now I can back that up against the wall. Heck yeah, look at all that space. Oof. Hello! Hello, Rama. Welcome to the stream. And I hope you enjoy what will be transpiring today on YouTube Live. I'm going to be drawing a Pokemon to start with. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. I appreciate that immensely. All right, let's go. I had to do a little bit of final updates. Did I ping the... There we go. Now I've pinged the Discord. So we'll see how this goes, everybody. We shall see. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Whee! How is everyone doing tonight? What time is it where you are? It is currently 11:40 p.m. I am broadcasting from the Eastern time zone in the United States. Near Baltimore. Baltimore. Don't know what I was planning to say instead of Baltimore, but I was planning to say something else. There we go. Making slow progress. I say this in my tutorial videos. Etch A Sketch is not a race. And I try to abide by that. Hello, Shabana. I do apologize for I cannot read your comment, but I appreciate you joining in, and I hope that you enjoy what you are seeing on stream today. To anybody who is joining, how did you find the stream? Was it my Discord ping? Was it just scrolling through YouTube? Let me know. I'm very curious. Oh, that's so cool, Yvonne. Yes, I don't normally stream at this hour, but lately I've been doing some late night experiments on YouTube, and I figured that the late night time slot is just a little bit less common for people to access as a live streamer. So I thought, you know, why not? I basically clock in a second shift on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but just in my office after dinner. So I'm kind of feeling that energy right now where it's like, might as well take advantage of burning the midnight oil, so to say. It is you, Brigido! Brigido, I have a fantastic update for you on my YouTube stream. Type in, let me think for a moment. What should I tell you to type in first? Type in ! Shiny Kyle. Midnight stream with a shot. No shots today, but there will be a Tipsy Sipsy stream this week, and those happen about once a year. So it's either going to be Friday night or Saturday night. You can join the Discord and vote for which date you would prefer. Now, that's going to take place on TikTok Live, though, so there will be a shot, Brandon. There will definitely be, I'm sure, multiple. The way that I plan to do it is I'm going to start with a stream where I can't say either the letter E or the letter S. I'll have my audience vote. And then if I slip up, then I have to pay the price. Yeah, Brigido! See, I did it! I finally figured out how to set up a bot on my streams! And there's all sorts of random things that you could, like... I came up with 36 commands. There are 36 commands that people can now ping. YouTube Firewater. There could be a YouTube stream in the future. I am really warming up to this platform. So, I am very stoked about the future of streaming on YouTube. I'm crossing my fingers. I have high hopes for what is to come. We shall see, though. By the way, if you guys are here and you are enjoying what you're seeing, if you could consider chucking a thumbs up my way, that is super helpful, because I believe that theoretically tells YouTube, like, hey, people like this stream. It's something that I always see YouTube streamers specifically reminding about, so I figure, if everyone's doing it, then I don't want to not be perceived as a cool kid. So we can't have my street cred being diminished due to my lack of reminder about tapping that thumbs up. Uh-oh. I don't know what Yvonne said. Ah, Nightbot is a little bit crazy with. I'm so sorry, Yvonne. You were timed out for 5 seconds, so there must have been a lot of emotes. He's got old shiny appearance rates. Yeah, he is an OG. I was gonna say a Gen 1er, but I guess they didn't have shinies in Gen 1, so a Gen 2er? Although those were the Gen 3er. I'm talking Ruby Sapphire era shiny odds. Alright, here we go. Now we're gonna draw. It's pretty nicely coming along. I'm drawing this because I'm working on my Pokédex, and I have a long way to go, but I want every drawing that I make for the Pokédex to be like really nice. So I've actually drawn this multiple times. It's made an appearance, I think, in 2 different forms of time-lapse videos, but I don't have like a nice photo of it. So I thought, you know what, maybe I should just draw this. So sorry, Yvonne, I hope you're still with us. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so let's do that. Huzzah. He is a strict gentlebot. Hello, Serena! And Jay Friars, what's up? But there are many commands that I'm sure will unfold over time. If anybody wants a glossary of the commands, you could do exclamation point commands to see if you want to peek under the hood to see what commands I've set up. So for this, I'm looking at a Pokemon card illustration, and I wanted to do things a little bit differently. So I'm trying to think about how I'm going to go about doing that. I thought it would be cool to like kind of do some kind of wild. So I'm going to start like around here, and I'm going off the books a little bit. So I'm just kind of drawing like that. Oh, thank you, Serena. It's doing better. It's kind of scabbing over a little bit. See that? It's like... It's definitely healing. It does feel a little weird to bend my thumb, though, sometimes. Like, sometimes if it... Like, when I wake up in the morning, if my thumb is like this the whole time, like, I feel it peeling a little bit. I busted my thumb open on my darn stand the other day. Oh, you are still here! Oh my gosh, it took only more than 1 emoji for it to... Okay, I'll have to play with the settings. That is good to know. Many apologies, Yvonne. But I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Serena? Let me take a little sip of water. So yeah, I thought it might be fun to just create some impromptu Etch A Sketch in tonight. I feel like I'm starting to get a consistent midnight crowd, which is like super cool. And I'm trying to make this not too fiery, but kind of like whimsical smoky. Like almost mystical. Something like that. We'll see. I'm totally riffing right now. I'm not even looking at a reference photo anymore. I did look at a reference photo for the, like, beginning. But now I'm just kind of going off the grid. Hello, this is a Pokemon. This is a Gastly, correct, Yvonne? Oh, Astro, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We got 15 people in the room. That is fan-freaking-tastic. To everybody who is watching, if you are enjoying what you're seeing, start thinking about which Pokemon I should Etch A Sketch next, because I'm going to show you guys a Pokédex list of Pokemon that I still need to render, and I would like to draw at least 2 Pokemon tonight. So, yeah, if you have one in mind, I might make it where, like, a super chat donation can select the one from the list, like, ultimately, but I don't know, I might put it up for a vote, too. So, we'll see. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. It looks kind of neat. I wonder if it's a little bit too far of a deviation away from, like, the classic smoke. I don't know. Do I have Piplup? I do have Piplup. Oh, as far as, like, I forgot what you meant for the context of the question. I was like, yeah, I happen to have a Piplup. I think a long time ago drawn Piplup. You know what? I should specify I'm working on the Gen 1 Pokedex right now. I'm doing pretty good. How are you, smiley face? And hello, Zach. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you enjoy it. Alright, so let's see here. So yeah, Bridget O, you are getting premier access to information that I have not yet announced. I've been beta testing, this is like beta test number 2, to see how this works out. Ooh, so I'm already kind of feeling a certain way about how dark this looks, but it might end up looking really good. Alright, it just loses the teeth a little bit. But we shall see. I feel like at night my voice gets a certain timbre. Hear that croak. That's I've done over 4.5 hours of talking on the phone today. So I have a lot of frogs chilling in my throat. Thank you, Ella. That's very sweet of you to say. So I'm only doing Gen 1 Pokemon tonight for requests, and I'll show you guys the Pokedex list after I'm done with this. The reason why I'm working on Gen 1 is because I'm really trying to complete my Gen 1 decks. Smoliv is very cute. I will admit that. But if somebody wanted me to draw something else, I'm not opposed to it. I can accommodate that with like super chat donations. Or if you type, I don't know if I have a command set up for donate. I should. Let me see here. I'll double check that one moment. I do not actually, but I have one set up for tip. So if you do ! Tip, it tells you where to, but like super chat is good too. So Vulpix, I don't know if I've done yet. So Vulpix might be a good choice. If you type lurk without an E, you'll have better luck with that particular command. But you're on the right track. There we go. There are a lot of commands. Too many. Gen 1 are your favorite, but you feel so old. I like Gen 1. I think there's a lot of good reasons for Gen 1 to be your favorite. It really is what created the Pokemon boom in America and Japan and the world. Gen 3 is probably my favorite, but I have very specific nostalgic reasons for that, you know? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the shading I'm doing here. I think I'm gonna... Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just filling in Gastly here, and I gotta tighten up some of the shading elsewhere. There we go. There it is! Yeah! Malort. Never knew they had commands. I started adding a bunch of commands. Yeah, there's my Malort one. How long did it take to get a decent level of skill with the Etch A Sketch? You know what? If you, I need to make a command for that. Actually, let me write that one down. I'm actually gonna write a, 1 second. While we're at it. I will give you an answer for that 1 second. One moment, everybody. From there. All right. Now, when you type ! How long, you have an answer for that. Huzzah! I can touch type you really fast. I do, like, I guess I hunt and peck a little bit, but I kind of do a hybrid of home row. It is currently 11:53 p.m. on February 1st. And there's the answer to how long. You found a mistake on my list of commands. You made one for such a godforsaken drink. Oh, how long have I been doing this live stream? For 15 minutes and 20 seconds. Great question. That one I don't have an answer for as a command. Oh, and if you make how long 2 separate words, you have to include how long as like one, like Astro did the first time. So you actually got 2 different ones. Calling it a drink is an insult to actual drinks. It's amazing! What? I didn't like it the first time I had it, but it grew on me. I don't know. I don't know what that says about me. So anyways, if you would like to witness me becoming inebriated, I will be hosting a stream later this week, either Friday night or Saturday night. It will be on TikTok, so if you'd want to be informed about that, you could do !Discord to be informed about when that stream goes live. That will give you my Discord invite link, baby. Look at all these commands. I could direct people, I could answer questions, I could help my moderators free up their time and energy. Yeah. You go by Derb because you changed your name. Okay, J-Sto. It means your taste buds will let you down. Who bought me my first Etch A Sketch? That's such a fun question. I don't think I've ever been asked that question before. That's a really cool question. So I was the youngest of 5, and the first Etch A Sketch I used was kind of a communal family Etch A Sketch. I couldn't even tell you who the Etch A Sketch was purchased for. Likely one of my older siblings as like a Christmas or birthday present. So the first Etch A Sketch that was for me specifically, I bought for myself with birthday money that I got when I turned 9, I think. And it was a sparkly blue pocket Etch A Sketch, which is just a little bit bigger than this size. So that was my first true Etch A Sketch that was like for me. But we otherwise had like 2 classic size, which are like the big size Etch A Sketches. That's such a fun question. There will be firewater. There will be. Yeah, that's a really cool question. The first one that was ever gifted to me, maybe my mom might have got me a bonus one for Christmas or something when I got a bit older. Boy, I gotta think about that more. I actually did a commission on one of the first Etch A Sketches I had. It was an old vintage Canadian unit. We would spend a lot of time in Canada growing up. And they made Etch A Sketches in Canada, but they looked a little bit cosmetically different from the American ones. They functioned exactly the same. They were the same product configuration, same materials, but the frame of it looked just a little bit different. And if you know a lot about Etch A Sketches, you can tell the difference. There's just like little differences in the font, and like one of the logos is missing from the frame. You swear you saw me on TikTok? Worldly Pitfall? That is possible. If you saw somebody doing Guess the Drawing on TikTok, that would probably be me. I do host those streams like at least once a week or so, usually Sunday nights. So I'm glad to see you coming over this way. How am I so much better at drawing than you on Etch A Sketch than you use pencil and paper? You know, it's something that I started doing just so young, and when it comes to the how long question, it kind of talks about how my Etch A Sketching and my drawing skills kind of grew hand in hand after a period of time, and I definitely find that to be true. Like, the better I got at drawing, the better I got at Etch A Sketching, and vice versa. Like, the more I practiced Etch A Sketching, the better my drawing skills became, because Etch A Sketch teaches you a unique skill set. It teaches you, hi everybody, by the way. If you're here for the first time and you're enjoying the stream, please consider tapping that thumbs up. Shows that you enjoy the stream, which is super helpful for me to know. But it's something that, like, you know, as I got better at Etch A Sketching, I learned all these really specific skills, like how to proportionalize without sketching in advance, how to eyeball something accurately, how to use different types of techniques to register different values of grayscale. Like these little squiggly lines, they register a lighter variant of gray than these very tight parallel horizontal lines. And those are things that translated really nicely into drawing skills too, so. How am I good at that? Noob2, if you want to type !how, that will help with a little explanation, but it's something that I started doing as a very young child, and I never stopped. So what you're witnessing is somebody who chose to develop a very niche profession. So right now you see all these lines are kind of like disappeared. They kind of look like a little bit, I don't know, they're not smooth anymore. I'm going to clean that up in the end. Just you wait. Oh, how do you thumbs up? Yes, I appreciate those who are directing on how to do that. Is double tapping not a way to do it? Maybe it just shows hearts. How did I go in YouTube? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that question. I just opened the app and I hit go live. And I believe that's something that maybe you need a certain follower count to go live on YouTube. Can anybody answer that question for me? I'm not sure if there's a follower count threshold, or I should say subscriber count. So that is how I go on YouTube. That's what you mean? Double tap is for shorts on a phone. All right, so that does not work for... Thank you, though. I see we're at 9 likes. Can we get to that big 1-0? Can our like counter celebrate its big 10th like? There we go. All right, so we're filling out the little tendrils here, and it's coming along. You are on PC. Oh, and then that means you could probably just hit the thumb button. Like, oh, what makes me be a YouTuber? That sounds like a very existential question. Well, I opened my YouTube account in 2007, and I've had it since 2007. And for the first 13 years, I didn't try growing my subscriber count at all here. And then in 2020, I started uploading short form content that I was making on TikTok, and it started doing really well. And so I started giving YouTube more attention, and I went from like 500 to like 20,000 subscribers like very quickly in 2020. And then it like kind of went to a halt for a while, and yeah, I decided, you know what, I want to try like streaming here because I feel like there's a lot of potential in this particular platform, and I really want to foster a better relationship with my platform. And on your phone, if you close the chat, there's an option there. Huh. I appreciate everybody trying to help everybody. Tap the thumbs up. Can you hit the thumb on the top? No, that doesn't do anything. You were born that year? Oh my gosh. What year did I just say? Why she chose to be. Yeah. I mean, I'm on all the platforms. Etching for 28 years is crazy, though. It is. Oh, 2007. I said 2007. Yes, that's the year that I started my YouTube account. Yes. Yeah. That is the year that I started my YouTube account. And, that is the year some of you guys were born, which is really crazy to me. That is mind-boggling. I have very distinct memories of being a teenager in 2007. I was 16 years old. All right, let's do a little... Okay, so now you're going to see all of these perimeter lines coming back into clarity. That's where, like, the magic sauce is. You should be in bed right now? Well, I guess it is a weeknight. A lot of people should probably be in bed right now. The cool thing about being an adult and being a freelance artist is I set my own bedtime. It's amazing, you guys. And on top of that, I also set, like, my own wake-up time. I usually don't use an alarm clock, but I'll be honest with you, I have been using one lately because I'm really trying to get back to a little bit more of a normal sleep schedule. I've been staying up so late lately. It's not good for me. Although it does feel like better for my personal circadian rhythm. Like I just feel like a natural night owl. So I try not to fight it too much. Does anyone else here? Well, I feel like we have a lot of people here late at night. So do you consider yourself a night owl as well? You feel older and older. So I was born in 91, for those who are curious. Born in 1991. The cool thing about being an Asian immigrant is if you don't get hundreds in school, you get your phone taken away. That's not cool, Astro. Brandon, yes, I have met the Amazing Etchman. Do you know the Amazing Etchman? You're born in 85? How do you know the Amazing Etchman, Brandon? I've worked with the Amazing Etchman. Yvonne, it's a struggle trying to get sleep as an adult. 1991 baby too. It is a struggle to get sleep. And honestly, as far as like being an adult goes and struggling to get sleep, I've got very little excuse. I don't have children. I don't have pets. I don't have like major work drama. I'm living theoretically my dream, although that comes with like certain types of stress that are related specifically to freelance art. There are a lot of stresses for that. And yet I can still struggle with sleep. What's up with that? It's like the most theoretically peaceful situation that I could be in. Itching my head one moment. This Etch A Sketch is so clear to see you see the vertical axis as I'm moving through. Alright, and almost done with this Gastly. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I could add it to the decks. I'll check if Vulpix, I don't know if the person who requested Vulpix is here. I might put it up to a vote in a moment. So think about your Gen 1 Pokemon, because I'm almost done with Gastly, so feel free to start suggesting the Gen 1 Pokemon. And I'm going to park the stylus right there, and there it is, my friends. I'm so sorry, Astro. I do have to find out why it's been... I need to calm Nightbot down. I think that it doesn't like a lot of things. Spam protection. Let's see if we can, let's disable. 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 And disable. Okay, this should be a little bit better now. I just disabled some of the spam filters, so... You've been etching for 2 years, and I've been etching for 28. That's crazy. You've been etching for 2 years, J-Sto? Oh, you don't? You saw him on TV. Okay, yeah. I've worked with him at events and stuff. No worries, Astro. I've switched the I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Lilypad? 2 years. I mean, it took me 5 years from starting as a 4-year-old to start drawing anything remotely okay. And even when I was 16, like, I still wasn't drawing, like, that great. Calming him down was a good idea. He went rogue. Yeah, I had to time out Nightbot. Nightbot is trying. So Nightbot should be fine now. I think I can disable all of the spam protection stuff. I just disabled the 3 that I thought were the most concerning. Like links, I don't know if I should disable that one. I'm not sure yet. And then blacklist words and phrases, I feel like YouTube already has one for that, so... You're doing good, you're so tired. Oh, and my stuff looks good. Thank you, Lilypad. So we're gonna set this one aside, and someone mentioned Vulpix, so... So I started, I don't know if you're asking how long for the stream. The stream is 28 minutes and 12 seconds, but if you want to know how long, just do exclamation point, and then as one word, how long. That'll tell you how long I've been doing this. As like an Etch A Sketch artist, so. Hey, a square is a good start. Yeah, don't disable links. That's probably a good idea. So there we go. We're setting aside the Gastly, and I would like to accomplish another Pokemon in my deck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the list. We're coming over here for a sec, and this is the list. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. Let's just... There we go. Anything that's not crossed out is game. So we've got the first half here, and the second half of the decks here. So I will be crossing off Gastly once I photograph him. Otherwise, I won't cross him off just yet. I gotta make sure I photograph before I cross off. I don't think I have that orange marker anymore, so I gotta switch to another marker color, I realize. So let me know if there's a Pokemon that you see on this list that you're like, I want to see it Etch A Sketched. And I'll put it up for like a poll. Welcome everybody joining in. I'm about to Etch A Sketch another Pokemon. And alright, Persian. So we'll do Persian versus, let's get another suggestion from another audience member. Persian versus... And maybe I'll pick one. Is Vulpix taken care of? It might be. Vulpix is taken care of. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just do Persian. We got a little bit of a quiet audience. Persian can do. I need Persian done. So. Persian versus Jolteon. Okay. Let's I'll set up a poll for that. 1 second. Start a poll. Persian. Next drawing. And then Jolteon. And start poll. So now you get to vote, everybody. There is an active poll. And that should allow you to select. And while you guys make your votes... Hello! Hello! I don't have a command for that one. 6 people have voted. That's good. Oh, thank you, Grizzly. I don't know how to get high view count YouTube streams. Have you been in good high view count YouTube streams? I used to get high view count TikTok streams. I can have Gastly hanging out at the bottom. How do you think of that? You came back. You did. Thanks for coming back. So you guys are voting right now, and once you finish those votes, I'll select a Pokemon, and I'll pull up some reference photos. I just caught some shiny Persians recently. I did some, what are they called? The horde, not hordes, the mass outbreaks in Scarlet. Hello, Brent. All right, let's check out the votes. We got 14 people who voted. You love to see it. Let's take a look. Spanish or Varinish? Hello to Duolingo. Are you the real Duolingo? Welcome. Spanish or Vanish? I'll say, hola. Hola, Duolingo. ¿Cómo está usted? No sé si puedes hablar en español, or puede hablar en español también, pero yo puedo hablar en español un poquitito. Looks like we got more votes for Persian. Vamos a... ¿Cómo se dice la palabra por... to draw? ¿Cómo se dice la palabra? Un Persian! I got lucky. Woo! All right, Persian it is. We're going to end that poll. Thank you, everybody. You subbed? Yay, Grizzly, thank you. Dibujar. Dibujar. That's to draw. Okay, we're going to draw a Persian. That's cool. I was not expecting a non-evolution to win, I'll be honest. So, Persian Pokemon. I'm looking at some pictures of Persian, and I might go with like a classic photo. I might do a Pokemon card illustration. So, Duolingo is not following their own rule. No bueno. Muy mal. I'm looking for a picture. I've always liked this illustration of Persian. I'm going to show you guys. This one is a very classic Pokemon card. If you know, you know. IYKYK. Let me open this image in a new tab. This one right here. Let's see. That card right there. Like this right here from the Jungle set. It's good stuff. Brandon! MVPs in the chat for Brandon, please. Thank you so much, Brandon, for that incredible contribution. I so sincerely appreciate that. So if you are all collectively interested in having me do requests for you, you are welcome to, if you send a donation of like, usually I say $10 to fulfill your request. $10 is kind of my standard. That is something that I can accommodate for you, so let me just start. If you hit, actually, if you type ! art requests as like one word, art requests, that will give you additional information about like commissions as well, so. Well, hot diggity dog, we got a donation tonight. Also, I don't believe I mentioned this, but I now have stream memberships. Wasn't this zoomed in before? Maybe it was. Whoa. Okay, I like giving it a little bit more breathing room, and I feel like that's a little bit more room. Okay. Your favorite Persian? Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, so I'm figuring out where to start for this. I'm gonna start... This one's gonna be a tricky drawing, actually. It's such a classic illustration, but like, there's a lot of horizontal information here, and I gotta figure out where feels best to start. So I'm gonna start right here. So where I left the stylus off is where I'll begin. Oh, Yvonne, I appreciate the thought. It's very kind of you. Never any obligation for anyone to send any funds, by the way. I do take a random free request from time to time. I will be doing a general like request stream. They are very rare, but I will do one on TikTok tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to be pinged about that, you can join my Discord, which you could also type !Discord for that. All right. So now we are drawing. Woo! I am starting Persian for anybody who's just now joining in. It might just look like a cat when all is said and done. This is a valid comment. I agree with that statement. There is a solid chance. I love how in Gen 1 they just named Pokemon after animals. Like, they had no chill. They didn't even try to come up with, like, a different name. They were like, Persian, seal. Or sometimes they would take the name of an animal and then add, like, one syllable. Like, Ponyta. I'm trying to think of other examples. Beedrill. I guess that one counts because it's got B as the first syllable. Alright, so we are drawing that's the jewel on Persian's head. Drawing that blindfolded would be really hard. I would like to do a blindfolded stream here on YouTube. I'm really trying to, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm trying to dominate the YouTube space as an Etch A Sketch artist. I would love to do that. Like, specifically for streaming. Not necessarily for videos, but for streaming. I would like to start, like, streaming more here as an Etch A Sketch artist. And I think that there's plenty of room because nobody who's an Etch A Sketch artist is streaming here, and I feel like there is potential here, my friends. Squirtle, yeah, basically like turtle, you know, squirrel turtle. Gen 9 laughs in Quaxly. Quaxly is, yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of small live. There's like olive. Tepig, there's a Gen 5 where it's just the name of an animal with a syllable added to it. I wonder if I'm going to get this size right. I'm not sure. This may not make it to my decks if I'm not, like, satisfied enough with it. There we go. I'm really liking the husky timbre of my voice tonight. I think it's because I believe I mentioned earlier that I've spent, like, over 4 hours on the phone today with 2 family members. We spoke so long. And it's funny because it's one of my sister's birthdays. We didn't even talk today. I left her a voicemail. She didn't pick up. So I ended up talking to my 2 other sisters for an extended period of time today. Coke or Zero Coke? I've never had Zero Coke, so I will say Coke. You'd never request for free. You're too good for that. Inflation in the UK is so bad right now. You love the Gen 1 names. Some are named after sounds like Growlithe. Yeah, and like Meowth is named like Meow. Yeah. Gen 7 Litten, just a misspelled kitten. It's like a little poem in my stream. Yeah, I didn't even realize that there was bad inflation happening in the UK. I know that like the British pound, I feel like has been at better parity with the US dollar from my recollection. I don't know. I don't often deal in GBP. You love that Gen 1 seemed like actual creatures you could find in some hidden part of the world. That, I think, is a really good point. Like, I feel like Nidoran is one of the most creative Pokemon designs. It looks like an early Pokemon, like Rhyhorn and Rhydon. They just look like Pokemon, and there's no, like... They just kind of have that, like, scraggly kind of, like, wild-looking roughness to them that I feel like they kind of smoothed out of Pokemon and simplified, and there is something, like, really charming and grungy about those designs. It's really cool. And don't get me wrong, I love the, like, cuter, more simple shape ones. Like, Gen 2 design it might be my favorite aesthetic. Like, the design of, like, Scizor... and Scissor's for some reason the only one I could think of, but like the smooth shapes of like Meganium and you know, the baby Pokemon are okay. The legendaries were really nice. The legendary dogs, like they're just nice. Food prices are up over 200%. Weekly grocery shop about 4 years ago would be around 40 pounds, and now it's over 100. Holy cow. We've had bad inflation problems out here, too. I don't think I would say that egregious, but there are a number of foods that have absolutely 100% increased in value. Absolutely. And, like, there are foods I won't even buy anymore in the U.S. Like, chips. They better be on really good sale for me to consider buying chips because, like, they are so expensive. It's like $7 to buy what used to be like a $3 bag of chips. Yeah, Bridget O. Yeah, like, I can't... It's hard for me to think off the top of my head about, like, Pokemon designs then versus now, but I could host a whole stream just looking at photos and sharing opinions, because I really liked... You know what Pokemon I thought was really cool was Breloom. Gen 3 had some of my favorite designs, but Breloom didn't feel like anything. I mean, I guess it's a sentient mushroom creature, but it felt like original. There's a fair amount of Pokemon that are like that. A lot of them you can tell are like based on like a living animal or something. Was I just talking about Pal World? I actually haven't played Pal World, so I don't know anything about Pal World yet, except that Pokemon designs have been ripped off. Brandon, you say, you're currently unemployed for the first time in 20 years, spending time with your wife who has medical concerns. I enjoy your live streams and what you want to accomplish, so you send some support. That, oh my gosh, Brandon. That is incredibly kind of you, especially considering your employment status. Thank you so much for that support. As always, never feel obligated. It is so sweet of you, but the last thing I would want to do is put you in a weird spot with your support, so if you ever feel at any point like you gotta take a break on it, like, I won't fault you for it. I know times are tough right now. Like, it's just the economy, am I right? So, but I mean, I really do sincerely appreciate you. You are the MVP of the stream right now, and that's pretty dope. Yeah, gas prices, Serena, I'm actually very unaware of. I am blithely unaware because I don't normally drive, like, hardly ever. But, you know, my boyfriend, he commutes to work a lot, so he is pretty intimately acquainted. I've heard very good things about Pal World. Yeah, we just flip-flop from that's just a duck to they're so unique. Oh, J-Sto, yeah, I appreciate that. There is a Psyduck, there you go. I thought I would give a random fact about only one Pokemon. Because of course I would set up a command for Psyduck. So if you ever wanted to learn anything about Psyduck, today you get your random Psyduck fact. This is how Etch A Sketch is? Yeah, it's a one-line wonder. There's so many puns related to Etch A Sketch. Like, I once had a show called Etching Between the Lines, and I think one person had, like, Etching Outside the Box, and I was thinking of, like, classic one-liners would be a really good name for an Etch A Sketch show. One-line wonders would be another one. There's a lot you could do with line. You have an amazing skill with those. Thank you, Life of Riley. I appreciate that. Ooh, there's a word that we recently added back to the TikTok stream, the word say. And the reason why is because people ask me to say things. You passed your driving test last Friday? Congratulations, Serena. Can we get some congratulatory emojis in the chat for Serena? I did tell Nightbot to cool down with the emoji over-moderating. So you guys should all be able to celebrate that, because that is a big deal. I cried when I passed my driving test. I literally cried. I was so overcome with emotion, I did not think I was going to do it. The driving instructor failed the woman who went before me, and she was around my age, and she had a license before, and I thought, I'm doomed. This woman who blithely just, like, drove up, she was just getting, like, her license renewed and had to deal with extra red tape, and she failed, and the woman walked up to her in her car and went, you failed, and the woman was arguing with her, and I was white-knuckling at the whole driving test, and then she was like, you passed, and I started crying. I was so nervous that I wasn't going to pass. Kyle, he had to get out of the car, and he wouldn't even look my direction because he was so nervous on my behalf. He was so scared on my behalf. You got a big award for soccer, Harrison? Can we get some soccer balls in the chat for Harrison? You failed twice before. I am so lucky I passed the first time, but I'll give you guys a big asterisk on that one. I did the test during COVID, and I only did the parking portion, which was crazy because I was fully expecting for the instructor to get in the car with me and hit the road. They did not do that because it was during COVID. And then she walked up to the window and said, I passed, and I thought there was going to be a part 2. And when she told me I passed, she was like, all right, go to the building, hand them this form and you're getting your picture taken for your license. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Really? And she saw me starting to cry, and she's like, oh God, I hope you weren't, too stressed about the woman before you. And I was like, she started apologizing to me when I started crying. And Kyle came to the car afterwards, my boyfriend Kyle, and he saw me crying, and he goes, oh no, did you fail? And I'm like, no, I passed. And he started laughing. He's like, like, that's a good thing. That's good. Why are you crying? And I'm like, I just can't believe I passed. Hello to anybody new popping in. I saw a hello in the chat. Oh, you're saying good night to be nice? Well, thank you for joining my stream. Don't tell your dad. Thank you, Yvonne. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Tim of the Timmer. Ooh, right back at you. See you tomorrow? Yeah, make sure to join so tomorrow I'm streaming on TikTok. So if you want to join my Discord, do !Discord to get a link to that. I have drawn a Mona Lisa, Dima. If you go to my videos, check out my most popular uploads, and one of my most popular uploads here on YouTube is all about my Mona Lisa I've Etch A Sketched. I think you'll enjoy that video. I've drawn the Mona Lisa more than once. Alright, I gotta do this thing. It's gonna look silly, but it has reason. I do that to clear the stylus of aluminum powder. It should theoretically make it a little bit cleaner. It does look a little bit thinner. It, sometimes accumulates a bunch of aluminum, and these styluses aren't as, good as they used to be. There we go. I want a cleaner line. So if you smack it where the stylus is, it can help to, free up. TikTok and YouTube. Tomorrow will not be YouTube, because I might be streaming on TikTok twice tomorrow. So there's no plans for YouTube for tomorrow. It sounds like you are quoting a song, Tim. You know, I had this theory, Brigitto, that the audience on YouTube was going to be a whole different experience from TikTok, but I'm starting to develop a theory that the TikTok and YouTube audiences might be a little bit more similar than I've given it credit for. You live, you learn. YL, YL. Alright, so we are drawing an arm. But I have had, I think, generally more quality conversation here, so. You said you TikTok? Tim, do you find yourself above TikTok? Let's talk about that. You subscribe? Thank you, Dima. I appreciate that. What is it about TikTok that grosses you out? Let's unpack this. Let's discuss. Alright, so now we're drawing up this way. Wee, hee, hee, hee. Alright, so we have some of the drawing done. Doesn't look like much, but I promise you it's only going to get more detailed over time. Can't say you're a fan of TikTok? First thing you got was a thirst trap. It's because the FYP has not determined who you are yet, and it determined enough about you to believe that that is what you're interested in. It is a potential self-report. A potential self-report. But if you spent like 1 or 2 days at max on the app, you'll learn that it's better than any other app at actually acclimating to your interests. A little bit of my music got muted, Serena. A little bit, but I don't often use popular music because I'm such what's the word for it? Such a contrarian, such a hipster. No, some of my music got muted, but a lot of it was time-lapse content that I didn't do a voiceover for. This is why I don't like the idea of like creating videos within the app, because you can't control what happens if they mute your audio. So I usually record my content off platform and then add the sound in platform, so that if something like that happened, if an audio got muted, I would have control over it. Little Persian pause. I saw some of that testimony about Just the part where the CEO was like, I'm Singaporean. Why are you having a bad time, Harrison? Let's talk about that. I don't like being people's parrot. I don't like Simon Says. I like when people don't treat me like a parrot. So I'm probably not going to repeat random words and phrases for you, because I'm a dignified adult, and people wouldn't walk up to adults and ask them to say things at random. It would invoke furrowed eyebrows, and it would not be appreciated. You don't want to spend the hours watching TikTok just so you can get what you want. It should be really quick, though. Like, I don't think it would take a day to get it. Like, I'll tell you what, I've spent a lot more time on these other platforms like Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and they still don't have me pegged. Whereas TikTok, like, generally, now, these days it's not as good as it used to be. Like, the whole freaking TikTok shop thing, that's a whole different conversation. But so many people, including me, thank a significant chunk of their current careers to what TikTok has done for them. If it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't be here on YouTube today. I'm very confident of that. A lot of people said got muted today. Yeah, I'm lucky because I happen to have not used a lot of UMG music. I'm very fortunate. And I'm used to using a lot of, like, more obscure stuff. Like, the music you're listening to right now is a personally curated playlist of songs that I'm not worried are going to get me, like, copyright muted here on YouTube, because they're all, like, incredibly indie, or they're, like, really obscure Flash game songs for, like, CD-ROM games from the mid-2000s, stuff like that. Yeah. Harrison, you're gonna get muted if you keep trying to treat me like a parrot. You get one more strike, and you might get booted. I tried to make myself incredibly clear. Hello, Sticky! I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for the compliment on the purple etch. I don't often bust out the different colors. Yeah, J-Sto puts it very well. I would watch that video, Yvonne. I totally would watch that video. It sounds really good. I personally, like, I do agree that short form video is damaging. I could agree with that, but that's across the board. That's not just TikTok. Now, TikTok started it. They started the fire, but the way that these algorithms are curated to, like, reward specific types of content, I think has contributed to brain rot. Just, like, straight up brain rot. Do a flip. You're not what, Harrison? Using complete sentences helps me a little bit with, Oh, people know you here, Sticky. That's what's up. Oh, Harrison, you're trying to guilt me right now. I'm just trying to set a boundary. I think the boundary I'm trying to set is very reasonable. And your response to my setting of a boundary is telling. I can empathize with the fact that you're having a bad day, Harrison, all right? I'm here to put on a nice live stream and hang out with people, but I'm not here to be a parrot for people. And I'd like you to respect that about me, Harrison, even if you're having a bad day. You know? Draw a Pikachu, please. You can check out my videos if you want to see a Pikachu. Harrison, just because you're sad doesn't mean I have to put my boundaries aside. Let's think about that. Just because you're sad doesn't mean I have to put myself in a position where I don't feel comfortable just to accommodate you. That's not a very emotionally mature way to handle that. I understand you feel sad, but we can work through this. And we can work through it in a way that doesn't, I don't know, put me in undignified positions where I act like a parrot. Oh, that's a crappy trend. I agree that it's not your fault you got bullied today. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear you got bullied. Don't feed the trolls. I know, I'm doing bad, Brigido. I know. I know, Harrison's just trolling. It's true. It is Etch A Sketch, Rod. How are you doing though, Sticky? You mentioned earlier that you said the chat gets weird. Yeah, people like to really treat live streamers like they're trying to have a one-on-one conversation with them. Not everybody, of course. Plenty of you are being very awesome in the chat right now, but there are the people who are like really want to demand this like one-on-one undivided experience. They feel this like strange entitlement to a live streamer's attention. And they'll spam the chat until they get some kind of response from them, and they'll just keep milking it. Well, Harrison, if you're having a really bad day, I encourage you to consider, you know, if this stream ain't doing it for you, I don't blame you if you gotta go, because I don't know if I'm gonna be the right person to like help you out through stuff, you know? I don't know if that's me, because at the end of the day, I'm not a therapist. I am an Etch A Sketch artist. Oh, there it is! There it is! I mean because I validated Harrison's problems, told them that must be rough, and sorry you're dealing with that, but wouldn't violate my own boundaries because they're feeling sad. There it is, everybody. There it is. I'm a mean person for loving myself. Your mom made you clothes till high school. That was an interesting childhood. That is interesting, Brandon. Did you like the clothes? I think that has a big impact on your experience with those clothes your mother made for you. Hello, Isabel. Welcome. Harrison, I don't know if I believe you're sorry. I think you're just feeling called out. Alright. Harrison, you have not demonstrated exemplary skills in positive communication. Loving the background music? Thank you, Yvonne. Yeah, I like playing a lot of chiptune video game stuff. I'm surprised this song made it to this. Well, this is from Super Smash Land, so I figured the soundtrack was like safe to play on streams. I don't know if anybody ever like checked out that project, but it was super cool. It was this like digital, this website Game Boy game. All right, Harrison, if you don't drop it in one more message, you're gonna get booted from the stream. You're gonna get muted. So let's move on. If you don't move on, then you gotta let this one go. Do I have mods? I do. I think my current mod is letting me play this one out. Yeah, he just wants attention. It's true. So if Harrison says one more thing that like sticks to this, then I'll personally boot him. You guys, don't worry. Oh, there it is. Because Harrison knew that they were gonna get kicked. Let's get rid of them. There we go. Actually, I don't know if I. One second. There we go. I hid Harrison. Don't worry about it, guys. No, I should have known because I gave Harrison one more opportunity because Harrison was determined to like not end it, and when I finally established that like, all right, you're gonna get booted if you don't stop being really annoying. That's when they decided to take their final pot shot because they realized they had nothing to lose. Yeah, that was nice. Thank you, Brigido. It's a mutual relationship from time to time. But no, that kid became way too freaking annoying by that point, so. Yeah. Yeah, Brigido knows my style. Every now and then I like to just... There's a catharsis in absolutely dunking on an annoying child. And I think the catharsis comes from the fact that, like, I deal with so many annoying things in streams, and sometimes it just feels nice every once in a while to be like, all right, you get the floor, but I'm gonna absolutely school you because I really don't like you. To be incredibly blunt. Every now and then it's like, this feeds my soul too. I get to let off a little steam myself. Aw, thank you, Yvonne. I knew that Harrison was a problem as soon as he started asking me to say things. I actually used to have the word say muted because people would ask me all the time to act like a parrot and say stuff. And there's a certain, like, I don't know, it's just undignified. I understand that I'm already, like, I don't know, I'm doing Etch A Sketch art on a live stream. I'm not necessarily performing at, you know, the freaking, I'm trying to think of the name of a famous venue, and I keep thinking Philharmonic. That doesn't help, because that's not a performance venue. You know what I'm saying. It's not like I'm at Carnegie Hall here. I know it's not a Carnegie Hall experience, but that doesn't mean I have to debase myself just for people's, like, split-second dopamine hit. Like, I don't know, you can still talk to me like I'm a human being and not a robot. Like, I think it's not, like, the craziest thing in the world to ask. I love having conversation with you guys, but, like, I just appreciate a shred of dignity, you know? You won't like me when I'm the angry Etch. Right, and see, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but, like, this is what happens. People join my stream and they start just screaming commands at me like I'm a computer that can output information. Like, I'm still a human being behind these knobs, you know? That's a weird sentence I said. But, like, this is why I've, like, muted so many different phrases and things. I will gladly do requests for you guys, but you gotta donate. That's just the way it goes. That super chat. If you send a super chat for, like, I'm sticking to $10. It's $10. But it's not going to change because children, like, lack internet etiquette. They don't know. So there's a tiny part of my soul that thinks maybe I can educate. And I'm a little harsh in the way I put it. I'm not necessarily the nicest. And people might listen to me and think, like, geez, like, Princess Etch is definitely kind of, like, a jerk. And I can understand that. But you also have to understand that, like, I've been dealing with this kind of interaction where people, like, shout at me to do things. I've been dealing with the indignity of it for 3 years now. Thousands of people have been doing it to me. And, you know, I was nice the first 500 times, but, like, eventually it kind of gets a little bit tried. Like, I'm just trying to put on a stream and somebody keeps screaming in the chat, you know? Most platforms are cracking down on acts that are not mature enough for stream. Ooh, I want to know more of what you mean by that. Phrasing. Are we still doing phrasing? The youth of today have zero shame. Silly Billy, you kind of came at a bad time. Are we still doing phrasing? Do you mean like swears? That's a good question. I don't know what you mean by that. Feel free to support Princess Etch. No, it's Silly Billy. You know what? It takes a lot to be apologetic, especially after I chastise you publicly. So I'm gonna apologize for specifically picking you. Just know, Silly Billy, that it's not just you. It's like a huge systemic thing. And I will tell you that live streamers universally don't appreciate when, like, people shout at them to, like, do something. You get kind of numbed to it when it happens a lot, but it's really apparent when there's 11 people in the room and one of those 11 people is shouting. Like, it's different when there's 100 people and, like, 5, percentage-wise. You just ignore them. Yeah. Sometimes the less you say in chat, the less trolling happens. Sticky, absolutely. Under normal circumstances, I don't give it any fuel. It's true. I think part of it is just that I'm sort of acclimating myself to what it's like on YouTube, and I'm feeling a little bit saltier tonight. So, like, the trolls, they're gonna flourish here a little bit, but I'm also, I don't know, I also feel like at this point I've kind of said my piece, so it's more of just, like, giving the general viewer a more, like, layman's interpretation of what the live streamer's perspective is like on it. So it's kind of cool, because I like to talk about it. I like to talk about, like, what it's like on the other side of the screen, in a way. It's an Archer reference? I did not realize I made an Archer reference. I haven't watched Archer in a long time. I've drawn Psyduck before, Julian. If you want to check out Psyduck, you could go to my page. Yes, because it was your first ever shiny. That's a good shiny, though. That's cool. That's your first shiny. For those of you who play Pokemon, what's, like, your first shiny? I'm willing to do requests for Super Chat. So I should say Super Chat super chat donations for $10. Well, I will fulfill your request for you happily. There we go. Now, I'm being a little bit saltier than I normally am. I think it's, honestly, to be incredibly blunt with you guys, I'm probably PMSing. So you guys are getting spicy Etch tonight. You're getting a little bit spicier than normal, a little bit less rational, reasonable, let's just mute them and not let them say anything Princess Etch tonight, which, you know, can be potentially more entertaining to deal with. Maybe, like, maybe logical Etch is, like, a little more boring. So, you know, enjoy the ride while it lasts, because, like, 3 weeks from now, I could be, like, way more logical again. Let's be real here. But at least I'm, like, self-aware. It's okay to be salty sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. I agree. Oh, he doesn't say the knobs things. He says phrasing. Are we still doing phrasing? Ah! Yeah, see, I'm really... Got it. Got it, Brigido. Okay. Tentacle's your first shiny in Ruby. You almost ran away from it because you thought the game was glitched. Tentacle's an interesting shiny. It's got, like, some green in it and stuff. I had a friend who had a shiny Tentacool in, I think, like, Sapphire version. And, I remember when Jesse got his first shiny, it was a shiny Electrike, which is particularly vibrant and beautiful. It's this, like, wonderful shade of blue. It's the same shade of blue as the male symbol in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, like the male-female symbols. It was the male symbol blue. And we both thought it was a glitch, too. We were so, like, wowed by it that we were, like, afraid to touch it. But he caught it. We didn't know what it was, but I think Jesse probably had a better idea because he played Gold and Silver, and I skipped Gold and Silver, so I didn't understand, like, what I was looking at. It was very confusing. My first shiny that I was random encountered, I was playing I had 2 copies of Leaf Green, and I was trying to help my friend get a Nidoran in that one route, like Route 7, but I didn't know that Nidorans weren't available on that route in Fire Red and Leaf Green, only like Red, Blue, Yellow. So I was hunting for a while, and then I happened upon a shiny Rattata, which is like, or Rattata, however you prefer to say it, which is green, and it was such an amazing, brilliant colored shiny. Hello, Ryan. Me and your twin brother have both gotten shinies. His was a Flygon. That's a really cool shiny. What did I have for dinner today, Serena? Thanks for asking. We made this dish with kielbasa and potatoes and like tomato kind of like all mixed together. It's so savory. And then I made roasted green beans as well as that. So it was a nice, hearty, nice, wintry feeling meal. And we always use the boar's head kielbasa from the store because it's like so good. What did you guys have for dinner? Let's talk about dinner for a sec. That's a good conversation. Yellow and Gold on Game Boy Color are timeless. You still play those on your mobile. They are great games. Yellow version has a very special place in my heart. It was the first Pokemon game that I got. The first one that I got new was Ruby version. I remember buying that one at Toys R Us. I still have the receipt for it. I kept it in the box because I was a very fastidious child who kept those things because she cared immensely about the ownership and the documentation of ownership. So I still have the receipt for my Toys R Us purchase. And I always thought like Pokemon was going to be worth a lot of money, and it turns out I was kind of right, you know? So it worked out, came in clutch. So I'm going to add a little bit of grass to this drawing. I'm generally content with this Persian. I think that I will include it in the decks. We're going to add a little bit of grass here. There we go. Panda Express is such a good choice. I had Panda Express last week for dinner. You're playing Legends Arceus. I always say Arceus instead of Arceus. You hadn't even gotten the first star, and then you found a level 32 Gastrodon. You were struggling trying to catch it. That's amazing, though. If you type shiny fail, exclamation point shiny fail, you can see the one shiny I failed on Legends Arceus, but it will be a separate clip that you'll have to open outside of the window. How do I make that? Bryce, if you do exclamation point how, you can learn how I've developed skills as an Etch A Sketch artist. The first game you got was Soul Silver? SNS? You just never were interested in it. I'm not sure if that's what you mean by Soul Silver. Kielbasa sausage always reminds you of Tenacious D. Yellow was your first and favorite because Pikachu followed you. It was so cute. Rice, tofu, and baby bok choy. Serena, that sounds really good. I don't know if I've ever had bok choy, actually. I would try it, though. Gen 1 games don't stand the test of time. It's all nostalgia talking. Awesome concept, not an awesome game anymore. Brigido, interesting point. I play Fire Red and Leaf Green, probably. I'd pick those up before Red, Blue, and Yellow. That's probably... I don't know. That's probably a fair take. Thank you, Yvonne. Sword and Shield. Thank you. SNS. That makes way more sense than Soul Silver. So yes, that you were kidding. That is like much later in the game. Sword and Shield. I'm sorry that was your introduction to Pokemon. I wasn't super thrilled about Sword and Shield personally. I think that Scarlet and Violet were better. And I feel like a number of people don't agree with that assessment. But I think it was a better game than Sword and Shield. It's more memorable, and I've spent way more time playing it. But I will concede that the glitches are way worse. So. You have an enemy in the chat. Yvonne steps up to the plate and says, Gen 1 games are still good games. That's how I'm used to seeing it, Brigido. SWSH, yeah. I'm sorry, it's crazy. You actually loved it, but you wish you could play one of those Pixel games. The old Pixel... The novelty wears off after you realize that the box system is really crappy. Like, Gen 3 really revolutionized Pokemon boxes in a way that was, like, super necessary. So... That is something that, like, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't age very well. Like, the experience all, but no experience share. Pokemon can't hold items. There's no natures yet. Special was for special attack and special defense. There were so many screwy things about Gen 1, but I think if I were to ever pick up a Gen 1 game again, I would pick up Yellow, because Yellow, like, really hit me in the nostalgia feels. I have a copy of Red. I'm looking to get a boxed copy of Blue. I need a boxed copy of Blue, and then I need the box for Yellow. And I have, I think, 2 copies of Yellow, but I need to get the box for it. So right now I'm making grass. You actually like Sword and Shield, though? I played it a fair amount, you know? When did I reach my subscriber goals? Like, for example, 100,000. So that was about 6 months ago, J-Stow, and my account has been completely, for the most part, like, plateaued since then. I'm actually losing subscribers every month. I lost almost all motivation to post more videos here on YouTube because I posted over 60 videos since I hit 100K, and my sub count just kept going down. Like, all my videos flopped again and again and again and again and again. Some of those videos went viral on other platforms, but they weren't fit for YouTube, and I feel a lot of certain ways about that. But yes, it was around 6 months ago. I think it was in July. So, your brother found the shiny Flygon post-game in Sword and Shield. You found mine before the first star in Legends Arceus. You mentioned struggling to catch it before. Right, the Gastrodon. That was Gastrodon, right? To Silly Billy, I found one of my last random encounter shinies I got was a Tyrogue that I was trying to activate, like, I was trying to interact with a den in Sword and Shield, and the Tyrogue came booking it for me. You know how some Pokemon just, like, book it towards you and you, like, can't escape fast enough? And it ran into me, and I was, like, really annoyed at first, and then I noticed that Tyrogue's shorts were blue, and then I saw the sparkle, and it was a square shiny, which was, like, extra cool, and I freaked out! I was so thrilled. It was my only random encounter shiny in Sword and Shield. I've had a few random encounter shinies in Scarlet and Violet, but those are a lot easier because you could see, like, overworld that they're shiny, you know? Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. Alright, so now I'm adding some grass. Gen 1 and 2 boxes are worse than taxes. I support that claim. They were terrible. I'll never forget trying to get the 1% encounter Tangela in yellow version in the Safari Zone, and finally finding one. After, like, multiple failed attempts, finally finding the Tangela, chucking a Safari Ball at it, and getting the message from Professor Oak, "Oh, you're out of box space. You have to switch boxes before you can catch any more Pokemon," and just feeling fury. I'm surprised I even kept playing Pokemon anymore after that. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Recommendations for free emulators. Love that. That's very cool. Said, 314 hours playtime. Are we friends on, if we're friends on Switch, then I guess you would have that information. It probably is pretty accurate. I did a lot of the max raid battles. And those were fun. They were different kind of problematic from the Scarlet and Violet raids. Yeah, I still played it for like 300 hours, so I derived fun from it, but as soon as Scarlet and Violet came out, I just like kind of stopped playing entirely. It's 35 degrees where you live? You must be in a country where you use Celsius, because 35 sounds cold to me. Thanks for joining in, J-Sto. Enjoy that walk. If you come back, and I'm still here, then fantastic. You had a shiny Hitmonchan at one point. It was disappointing. I never evolved my Tyrogue, because normally I don't touch my shinies because I'm so precious with them. Which is, like, kind of silly, because it's like I never get to enjoy the shinies that I catch. But that's how I be. That's how I do. Alright, so we're adding a little bit of bonus grass that's covering up a part of Persian. Oh boy, I just realized that I started covering up a lot of Persian. Let's see if I can fix that. I guess it looks okay. I did cover up more of Persian than I meant, though. Alright. Yeah, I added more grass than I wanted to there. That's okay. I started filling in an area I shouldn't have. No. I could post upcoming live streams in advance on YouTube. It's how I catch most of my live streams. Oh, like scheduling them? Yeah, I don't schedule them on YouTube yet. Maybe I should start doing like a broadcast schedule so people can be aware. On TikTok, there is a way to do like an event, but I hardly do it because it's a lot of annoying work. Your Switch broke. You've been playing Arceus on your brother's. You have 100 hours on Animal Crossing. That sucks that your Switch break. I didn't know Switches could break. I just figured, like, I've never heard of anybody who had a broken Switch. I'm sure it does happen. I never thought about it before. I didn't know that. Alright, so we've got some... I'm debating about how I feel about all this grass. It's starting to look really busy. And the line just arbitrarily got thicker here. I hate it. I hate that so much. I hate when my Etch A Sketches do that. It means the quality is... You know, it doesn't matter. I spent $2,000 on a bulk order these things. They're just going to turn to crap. I'm not bitter at all. No, it's whatever. I don't know if I need to put them in a better climate-controlled environment. If it's too dry, like, I don't know what the problem is, but quality is definitely not the best on this Etch A Sketch. All right, so we've drawn a lot of grass over there. We're going to finish the grass over here. I've gotten well, I've hunted for a lot of shinies, Brigido, but, Tentacle and a Alolan Graveler. I never played Sun and Moon, but that's a cool... I know what normal Graveler shiny looks like, because that was one of Jesse's first shinies. It was the Electrike, and then a Graveler in his Fire Red version. It was, like, orange. You use emulators for almost a decade. So much fun. Prices of the retro Pokemon games is bonkers. Oh, yes, Yvonne. Thankfully, I happen to own most of the retro Pokemon games already. I'm only missing probably blue version of like all of the retro Game Boy through Game Boy Advance games. But yeah, I'd like to get them all boxed. I'm only missing blue and yellow for the boxed Pokemon games. Those are the last two. So if anybody here happens to have a blue or yellow box, let's talk. You just made up a playtime. We're switchies. I honestly, it probably could be 300 hours. Looks okay, it's amazing. Thank you. I don't know what a Huracan is. Okay, sorry, gotta go. No worries, J-Sto. Okay, I'm catching up with the chat. Oh. You can... Okay, Mason, if you spam hi one more time, you're getting muted. I don't know why I'm giving warnings tonight. Usually I just mute people. Why was my Switch near a bucket of water? Wait, somebody had it near a... You dropped it in a bucket of water? Oh, no. You have an aircon that leaks. The bucket is next to the bed and you kicked it. Oh, no. Artica... Okay, so hurricane? That could be it. One thing that is interesting to me... that I feel like used to be the case more with TikTok, but isn't anymore, is that I am finding that the people tuning into my streams tend to speak other languages and pop in, joining in other languages. And that is really interesting to me because TikTok used to be that way more. And I used to get video comments all the time from people in other countries, like just chatting with each other on my videos. And I feel like they really changed the algorithm to prioritize like geographic locale, like country location for uploading and all that. So it's definitely interesting. There we go. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna do a little bit more. There's a little Persian. You're playing Cult of the Lamb when you dropped it in. Never played that game. Honestly, yes, taking it in rice. Aircon sounds like you're from Australia. That's a phrase I heard a lot from Aussies when I did a tour in India. So tonight we did Gastly. I couldn't think of the name for a moment. And Persian. And these are going to be added to my decks. I'm thrilled about that. We made incredible progress tonight. You are from Australia. Yes. Sounded very Aussie. That makes me very happy. Oh, you tried to do the rice, but it didn't work. Alas. I'm sorry for your loss. F's in the chat for Silly Billy Switch. You like it? It doesn't look like a generic cat. Yay! It looks like he has 3 paws, but the 4th one, in my defense, is not showing in the original picture. Alright, I'm gonna flip the camera for a sec. Say some final words. Alright. Oh, I could have brightened this the whole time. It's more like Aussie. Because I'm American. And that's how we see the word. We say the S's like the S sound instead of Z. Z's, as we call them, instead of Z's. Thank you, guys. I appreciate... Brigido. Commenting from down under. Okay, flip of the camera. Alright, everybody. I am in the same pajama top that I was wearing yesterday, so you can tell I've really made a lot of progress in the wardrobe department since my last stream. I can't figure out how to feel about this lighting right now. It's like... Okay, that's a little bit better. Blush. I'll use blush. Makes my eyes look kind of green. That's neat. Ugh. There we go. You call them Z's too? Oh, they're not Zeds? They're not Zeds in, Australia? That's interesting to me. Alright, everybody. You're tired of turning your phone upside down to read the messages. Oh, you didn't have to turn your body, like, the opposite direction to, like... Alright, everybody, I'm gonna pause the music. Say some final words. Thank you so much for joining this additional test stream experience. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. Oh, that's funny, because these I consider to be long-form drawings. There was music? Oh, it must have been really quiet if you guys couldn't hear it. Also, if your volume was down, you probably didn't pick up on the ambient sound. I always keep the music pretty low, because I'm worried about it competing, and I don't like talking over louder music. But perfect use of that emote. So, what's the emulator called before we leave? Oh, yes. Well, you can scroll up in the chat and take a screenshot. That might be easiest, but if... was it Yvonne that mentioned earlier? I'll let the person who shared the emulator information say their phrases and words and stuff. Not phrases isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you guys had a fun time. I enjoyed further experimenting. Honestly, today was sort of like testing out Nightbot more, and now I know that Nightbot could be a little trigger happy with the muting and stuff when people were being problematic. So, fairly audible. Okay, that's not bad. Thank you, Brandon, again for joining. I really appreciate it. And there it is. Yvonne mentioned it. So make sure to take note of that. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day or night wherever you have to be in the world. Before I go and say my final messages, I will type out... can I type in my own stream? I can do it on my thingy. 1 second. All right, before we go, oh, I'm hearing my echo. I will do, one moment. There we go. Just sent in a link to my Discord for people to join in if they would like to be informed about future streams. There will be a Tipsy Sipsy. That means a stream where I'm going to get a little bit silly because I'm going to be having a little bit of devil's juice. I'll just call it that. So if you'd like to partake in that, it's either going to be tomorrow or Saturday. There is a poll that is active on the main updates page of my stream. So, or of my channel. I am a little distracted by seeing myself in my peripheral that is like 30 seconds behind. So it's like a delayed mirror over there. I'm glad you guys had a good time. I hope to catch you all on a future stream. And you are silly. This is true, Silly Billy. And I hope to see you all next time. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day or night wherever you have to be in the world. And as always, each and every one of you could be anywhere on the internet. It is the World Wide Web after all. And you've all collectively chosen to spend this time with me, which I never want to take for granted. So thank you so much for that time. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to give it to me, and you still did. So I really hope to see you all again. If you would like to purchase merch and stuff, that helps me to keep these streams sustainable. If you do !Etsy, that will be a link to my Etsy, or if you go in the description of this live stream, that will provide additional information for you there. So thank you again to everybody who participated, to Brandon for the super chat, to Brigido for the moderating, to the troll for trolling, and I hope to catch you all next time. Tomorrow's TikTok, though, not YouTube. Although maybe I'll do a random afternoon stream. We'll see. Okay, everybody. Bye.